Alright folks, welcome aboard the world-famous Universal Studio Tour. Hope you're all having a good day out there. I'm having a good day. Hi everybody, my name is Nick. I'm going to be your tour guide today as we take you on a tour of a real live working motion picture and television studio. And today on the tour, we're going to be lifting the veil of secrecy off of some of Hollywood's hottest filming locations. Check it out. World. It's currently being used for a new movie called Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell, based on the old TV show. But it's also held sets for movies like National Treasure 1 and National Treasure 2. And it's also held sets for other movies, including Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean series. Now we're starting that quiet zone where I have to be off the microphone because they're filming the new movie across the hall nearby. I'll be back in just a little bit. Buildings and soundstages, and I said in there movies like National Treasure and Jurassic Park, but I bet you're about ready to see some actual sets you recognize from movies and TV. Well, we're going to do that now as we leave the front lot behind and take you now into the back lot where we shoot the big stuff. Exterior sets on a grand scale. The first area on the back lot that we're going to take you to is our Metropolitan streets, our city streets, which you've probably seen hundreds of times over the years, never realizing that you were looking at the exact same streets. Now these city streets here are just some of the first examples of that Hollywood illusion I'm going to point out to you on the tour. See, these buildings might look like they're made out of big strong material like brick and stone and concrete, but they're not. They're actually made out of lightweight materials like foam rubber, fiberglass, chicken wire, and plywood. And one of the films that shot extensively in this area was a movie that I already mentioned, the Jim Carrey film, Bruce Almighty.
Say, that dog! Inside bad, outside good.
Alright, now take a look at the stairs you see there on your screen. We're about to pass that staircase. As we round the corner, the staircase that Jim Carrey is walking down will be on your left side. It's the middle staircase that he's walking down on your screens.
Inside bad, outside good. Oh, you're done.
Now you might notice that this beautiful street here is very plain, very sparse. That tree that he was leaning against, it's not really out there off to the left. There's no street signs, there's very few street lamps, no curtains in most of the windows, no parking. Look like a completely different location, any city in any time period we need it to become. You'll see this street in an upcoming Eddie Murphy film called Starship Dave, which will come out later this year. They filmed a carnival scene right here on this street. As we round the corner, you can see this other street here, also very empty, very plain. You can see this street in theaters right now in movies like National Treasure 2, The Book of Secrets. It's also featured on TV shows like Ghost Whisperer. Now sometimes we need more control over sound or lighting or weather than these exterior sets here provide, and we end up building an entire city block inside a soundstage. Now we're going to get your cameras ready because one of Hollywood's biggest stars has been hanging around in here a lot lately. Congratulations, everyone. You just came face to face with King Kong. And I promised you one of Hollywood's biggest stars, and at over 30 feet tall and 6.5 tons. They don't get a whole lot bigger than that. Now, the King Kong that you... I see the door to the top. King Kong himself would feel right at home on the next street we're going to go down, a street we call New York Street, but it can become just about any city we need it to become. Here on your screens you can see this building here, the Hotel Berlin. That same brown brick building there is also in the background of this Snoop Dogg music video as well. You can also see it in the movie Transformers. I saw it in the preview before the movie came out, and I said, hey, I recognize that building, that's where I work. Most of the final battle sequence of Transformers was filmed right here on this street. That same brown brick building that you see there on your screens, it's also right here behind me as we round the corner. It'll be off to your right side. You'll also see it in an upcoming Angelina Jolie movie directed by Clint Eastwood called The Changeling. All of these scenes here on your screens were filmed right here on this street. The Lyric Theater, that's where Mary Jane was performing The Importance of Being Earnest when Peter Parker got kicked out. This is where Tobey Maguire filmed that scene, right here where you're sitting. I think that's pretty cool. Now, earlier I mentioned that these buildings weren't real and that they weren't made out of real brick and real stone. But to see the side view of some of these buildings, you can see just how skinny they actually are. It's one of the few places in Hollywood where something very thin pretends to be much wider than it actually is. Now, besides having a lot of urban areas, we also have rural areas here as well, like this little bridge out off to your right side. It's really small to be New York City Central Park, but it has its advantages. You can jog from one end to the other. That's done in a snap. But seriously, put some actors out there and film tight shots so that you can't see a whole lot of what's going on behind them, just enough to tell they're at a park. Then we can take that scene and cut to stock footage of the real Central Park and go from one scene to the other, and you can't tell the difference.